Good morning. Welcome to our session. My name is Tiago, and I will give you some updates on the PDS course. At the UMinho, we are responsible for 5 courses. 4 of them are already completed, but for this one, we are still working with the slides and the materials because this is like a practical course, so we need to prepare a lot of exercises and and we are still working with the materials. So I will show you what we have done so far according to the course outline, and maybe we propose some changes to or updates to maybe the course outline. So maybe later we can discuss and decide what to put on the materials, because it's the only way to finish them, and then we can actually deliver and create like practical sessions with you. Okay, so yeah, as I said, the materials are still in progress. So this is what we will do today. Okay, I will show you the topics that we have concluded, and then some topics are still in progress, and then I hope we can discuss them so we can finalize them. Okay, so as a reminder, the main goal of this core course is to create lab sessions with the required programming background for the DSAI program. Okay, after completing this course, students must be able to prepare, handle, manipulate, visualize data through a programming language, which in this case, it will be Python. We will use Python for programming in that data science and AI. This is basically what we have decided in Greece during our workshop in Greece. So most of the course materials will focus on practical sessions, and for that students will have to go through online tutorials, lab sessions, homework assignments, so they can easily apply everything that they have learned throughout the course. After that, students will be evaluated based on their homework, lab reports, and a final exam. Regarding the course outline, first we will go through the fundamentals of the fundamentals. So we will use Python. So we are preparing examples with Python. The current version is the 3.8.3. On the first slides, we have already prepared a set of slides that show on the first slides how to create and prepare an environment for programming with Python. We are right now using a Windows-based environment, okay, but we can also go with Linux if we need. Since Python is a cross-platform programming language, it can run basically on any operating system. So we are doing it with Windows, but we can do it with Linux if you want. And we have decided to use Guinea as the IDE. So it's a tool that we have selected that it's compatible with the Windows platform. So we can use that IDE to program with Python. We can use others such as VS Code or PyCharm, but we think this one is okay. Okay, what we have so far. We have created slides which cover most of the topics related to any programming language, such as data types, code styling, and then the if statements, the while statements, the for statements, and so on. On the right side of the slide, yeah, we have some snippets from the code that we are writing, so we can later provide the code that goes with the slides, so we can easily follow and deliver the lab sessions. Okay, next topic, working with data. Well, here in Greece we have decided to use NumPy. Okay, but so far we haven't prepared any slides. So everything that is with the orange color, that's the parts we are still working on. We can further discuss this. Okay, well, so far we are using data. We are creating slides for data manipulation using pandas. And so far the slides, they cover topics such as data frames, series, and the functions to handle missing values. So this is what we are doing so far, but using pandas. For this topic, we haven't prepared any slide yet, okay, because we think it's already being addressed through other chapters, like such as number 4 and 5. So I don't know if we should put some slides on this, or if we can handle this topic through the other chapters, 4 and 5. Text processing with NLTK, we are still working on this, so we haven't prepared any slides yet. For data visualization, we are, in our slides, we are using the matplotlib, so students can use and prepare data, to use in a wide set of charts for data visualization. So they can create line charts, dot charts, bar charts, and so on. This we have already. Okay. Yes, this is some examples of data generated with this tool. For data visualization, we have selected in Greece to use pandas and wisdom. We are preparing slides using this PyGal package. I don't know if we can use it instead of the first two that we have decided. We think this package might be better. It might be a good option for replace pandas and wisdom. We think we can create more interactive and more appealing charts. So we can discuss this later as well. So if you want, we can go back and use this pandas and wisdom, or we can follow preparing our slides with this package. Number 4, statistics. We didn't prepare anything yet about this. Okay. At the course that we are using these slides, at this stage we go through a brief explanation of the basics for the SAI, and we explain students some examples, we give them some background, and then we tell them how the Python language can be effectively applied to this kind of courses. So we haven't prepared yet. We have to prepare later, or because I think these topics we are giving them in other courses, right? Such as machine learning and AI. So we have to prepare this as well. Machine learning tools. For the machine learning tools, we have also created slides that show how the scikit-learn tools can be introduced to this course. Okay. And how the tool can be used for data standardization, normalization, models training, prediction, evaluation, and so on. Okay. In Greece, we have decided to use the PyTorch, but after some review and after discussing with a responsible person here at the Uminho, he has suggested to use the TensorFlow instead of the PyTorch. Why? TensorFlow is an open source machine learning framework, okay, developed by Google, is being used for thousands of companies worldwide. So we think that it can provide the same feature as PyTorch, but somehow it can be easier to use. I'm not sure about this, if you want to change it or not. What we are doing are examples based on TensorFlow. So we can discuss this as well. Yeah, so on the right side, we have some examples of the slides we are creating. So yeah, we basically explain the TensorFlow and then we go through hands-on TensorFlow examples that can be applied to this course. So if comparing the but the course outline that we have decided in Greece with the slides that we are doing right now, there are some differences, and since we are still working on the course materials, I think it will be good now to have your inputs, because some parts that we have changed, like for the data visualization, or instead of using PyTorch, we decided to use the TensorFlow. These kind of things we would like to know if you agree, if you do not agree, so we can follow with the slides. Well, this is it. This is the end of the presentation. We haven't prepared we won't go through the slides and showing you examples, how to create, how to set up the environment, how to make an hello world. I think this is not useful at this time, okay, because we haven't uploaded yet the materials or the examples. So we believe for the other courses, yes, we have almost everything, but not for this one. So I think it should be better to have your inputs on how to, so that we can finish these slides. And I don't know how to stop this.
At the top of your screen, you can leave.
I cannot return to the meet. Okay, stop
Yes,
share. Okay. So this is what we have so far for this course. That's why we didn't upload anything yet to the shared space. We have so far around 300 slides, and still counting. But we have these doubts, so I think it will be good to have your inputs on the subject. I don't know if you want to say something. Anyone?
Hi, Tiago. This is Kat from KKU.
Yeah, hello.
What I'm thinking is that because this course is a core course, right? And it's a basis for other course in the curriculum. So basically, I think it should cover everything that's enough for a student to continue in other course. So do you think we have all of that?
Yeah, I think so. There are some topics that we haven't finished yet, but yes, I think we have. As a basic course, well, it's a core course, and it's basically the basics for programming in data science and AI. So we think we cover most of the topics that we have decided in the course outline. So I wouldn't be worried about that. It's just taking time because we have to prepare the examples and then create the code, test the code. So we need coding examples for all the topics that we are handling here. My only concern is about if you agree that we can use that introduction to AI and machine learning topics that we on our slides, because we are giving these slides in another course. So we will give these slides in another course at our university. So in the chapter 4, we provide students with some basics about programming for data science and AI. So we go through the basics. We explain them. What is data science, AI, machine learning, deep learning, models, and so on. So if you think it's useful, we can put this as well in this course.
Hi, everyone.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, hi, everyone. I just want to add some resources that you probably can use. I probably won't talk about the course outline, but I think I have something that you probably can use. Let me share my screen. Yeah, by the way, I'm from AIT. I'm Chaklam, and I take care of this course, Python for Programming. And we're gonna launch this on this August, I think the first week of August. And my design is maybe a little bit different from the original course outline, but it's still focused on the basics, Python, pandas, NumPy, scikit-learn, right? And then we move to PyTorch. So I upload everything on GitHub, okay? And the course is like this. We have intro to Python, and we have NumPy, we have pandas, matplotlib. Then we kind of be very focused on machine learning, but of course inside the classwork and homework, there's a lot of components related to statistics, wisdom, etc. So okay, there's a lot of echo here, and then.
You are being muted.
Sorry, but we cannot hear you.
Okay, I'm back. Yes, I think, anyway, yes. So dimensionality reduction, clustering, assemble, and then after the first half of the semester, once they cover all the traditional data science techniques, then we move on to very contemporary techniques like neural networks, deep learning, etc. So then we teach about neural network, deep neural network, CNN, INN, and then we proceed to PyTorch. Personally, I don't think there's any differences between Keras, TensorFlow, PyTorch. It really depends on you as a lecturer to choose. So, but anyway, I think Keras and PyTorch are more high level, so they should be a better fit. TensorFlow, there's a 2.0, but anyway, I think Keras and PyTorch are a good fit. But anyway, it's just my opinion. And then we teach about NLP. And NLP, there's specifically 2 libraries. I think that is worth talking about, and that is Spacey, a very new one, and the old one is NLTK. Yeah, so that are the 2 libraries I think it would be fun to teach. And last is signal processing. And I don't think this is necessary, signal processing, but because it's my area, that's why I teach. The course is delivered in a way that every lecture is 6 hours of lab. There's no lecture. There's only lab sessions of 6 hours. And then immediately after that day, they're supposed to complete the classwork. Okay, and that forced them to work right after that. And classwork should be a very easy thing for them. They should be able to complete within 1 or 2 hours. Yeah, but then we got homework, and that is something that is not in the textbook, right? For example, implement gradient descent from scratch, right? That is probably, I think, very suitable as a homework. So that is just my sharing of the resources. Currently, the team has finished up to 10, and we are planning to complete hopefully until 16 by probably end of as time goes by. Yeah, and of course we got this installation, zero installation. So we plan not to teach anything about how to install Python, how to set up the virtual environment, etc. No, I think it's a waste of time. But anyway, that is just my opinion. But we have this fight so they can come in and know how to take care of their own life for installing Python. So hopefully I did not talk too much, and you can always find this GitHub in here. And yeah, that's it for my sharing. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I will take a look.
Tiago, can I say something?
Yes, please.
So because I see in Shaklam slides, which now are gone, there was some part were dedicated to CNN and convolutional neural network, other the RNN, and also to NLP, where you were enthusiastic, and I'm very happy you are enthusiastic about that. But we should be careful because there is a full course on NLP and also machine learning in general. So we have you are already using some material which maybe the students do not yet know. So we have to make a balance of when this course is going to be given, what time. If it is after the course of machine learning and neural net, language, computational linguistics, no problem. Actually, it's very nice. Otherwise, there can be a problem with time. I don't think we have any scheduling of the courses. Probably this is some local things. Matt, do you know anything about that?
Yeah, for us, we have some constraints. Like if we have a 2-credit course, then that corresponds to either 2 hours of lecture or 6 hours of lab per week. So it's a 3-to-1 ratio for lab versus lecture. So in a way, and maybe some colleagues have similar constraints, right? Or regulations from the university. So anyway, because we have a 2-credit course and it's a lab-only course, so then it becomes 6 hours a week for the semester.
Yeah, but then should we decide that then yeah, this material that Shaklan prepared is very nice. So this could be added to my test, at least if everyone agree, to Tiago slides and the material, and then everyone decide by themselves. Everyone decide what if using or not, depending on its own scheduling.
Yeah, I think for machine learning, we have to talk a bit, right, to line things up. Oops. Yeah. So, sorry. We have multiple devices on here at AIT, so sorry about that. Okay. Anybody else want to comment? Taufik, you're the co-chair for this session, right?
Yes, I'm listening, Matt. Thank you. Just a little bit comment. If we look at the PDS course outline that we designed when we were in Leiden, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, the objective of this course is a laboratory course that provides students with computer programming background. I just has a little comment for Chaklam that he designed a very comprehensive course outline, which also introduced CNN and then NLP and many other things. And I'm afraid if we cover that so wide area of discussion, would probably not focusing more on programming background for the SAI. What do you think? Because it's too broad. I mean, you take care a lot of topics from NLP and then CNN and deep learning and so many things. I'm afraid it's going to be so wide, and the programming background that require for data science and artificial intelligence will be like not really focused on that. I think that's a little comment from me.
Okay, so we can follow the original plan. And so we won't go out of the first plan. So we can, well, I will finish what we have started, and then without moving so much from the original plan. So it would be nice maybe to, if Chaklam, if we could share his sorry, his GitHub space. So maybe I can send you an email later, so we can maybe exchange some information together. So maybe I can take some ideas from your slides and put in our slides. If you have no problem with that, so we can do it.
So I would like to say something about PyTorch versus TensorFlow. So I've tried teaching with both, and I find, oh, sorry, I think we have to stop. Yeah, sorry about that. I think we have to turn the volume off on the TV, right? Turn off. Yeah, because that's creating the feedback. Okay, sorry. Yeah, okay. It's much better, right? Okay, sorry. Yeah, so PyTorch, I think we find that it's easier for students to pick it up and also to make progress on research in a fast way. So I've had master's and doctoral students that use these frameworks for their master's thesis, and the ones that use PyTorch, they actually make progress quite a bit faster. They get up to speed and are actually able to produce good results much quicker. So there's that. And then as far as the teaching goes, there are a lot of resources under both frameworks. Sometimes you'll see the same model is published as open source under both frameworks. So I think we can certainly get along with either or both. So the question would be, should we try to support both, or should we pick one? Or you know, I think we don't want to force. You know, if someone at one institute loves TensorFlow, right, then nobody should tell them not to use TensorFlow, right? Yeah, I think if we decide to keep to try to support both for this course, right, so that instructors could teach either version, right, that might be a good way to go about it. Okay.
I actually think it depends on, on us. If we decide to use PyTorch, we use PyTorch. If we can use TensorFlow, we use TensorFlow. The TensorFlow, it's it's a tool that we are using here, but we can also create content with a PyTorch. It's up to you. I mean, if you want to make it like same content for everyone, we decide to use PyTorch, and then we will use PyTorch.
I want to input something. I think that essentially, I don't think we all need to have exactly the same, completely same learning resources, right? Because each of our students, we know our students the best, right? We know what our students needs and what they lack, right? But I think the structure we can maintain, but in terms of specific libraries, advanced stuff that we want to add in, I think it is really up to the local team that made this. And I think what Tiago has introduced is fantastic already, right? I think it covers a lot of essential stuff already, but each of the university may want to, fine tune it, parameterize it to fit your population. I think that is probably what Tiago and I think. That is basically my comments. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I am. Hello. I'm Prabhat from Sri Lanka. So I think there are many people from different disciplines, programming languages. So I think we first introduce more Pythonic programming, like Python philosophy, because we need a specific type of programming in Python, not like in Java or .NET. So we should deviate from the previous programming disciplines, or more or less Python philosophy must be introduced at the beginning, I guess.
So if I can say something, Tafik?
Go ahead, Marcelo.
Okay, thanks. So I'm Marcelo Bonzang from Leiden. Yeah, it's good that we introduce every time ourselves. So I think that is a very good idea of having this customization that everyone can do in its own school, because everyone knows his own students, what are the background. So that the having several variations, that we don't have just one set of slides and that is it, but to have a possible variation point like Python or TensorFlow or PyTech or TensorFlow. That's sound very good to me. So that's all I want to say. That's
okay. Any other input? Katarina?
Actually, this is not my domain of expertise, so I can give just general input about what Tiago presented. I think that Tiago has done an excellent job, and because I have kept an eye on what they have uploaded for the other courses in the share space, actually they have uploaded a lot and very qualitative content. So congratulations from my side. The only thing that I would like to keep in mind is what we described before, that when we were back in Athens, we said that we're going to have students from different backgrounds. That's why in the courses that we're going also to present later, from what we tried to design as content, we have some escalation of the difficulty. If you think, but you know better in the course that you just described, if you think that there is a content that is addressed to people, to students that are just from programming, maybe this content can become something like supplementary, something like an appendix. But I think that it's a work that has already done, so it is important to include it in this course. That's all from me.
Thank you, Katarina. Professor Dung maybe has some comments for the course. We still can't hear you, Professor Dung. You're still muted.
We have no mic.
Okay. I think I support the idea that we should have a children idea and children take the flow of the course. But when each university should be able to design the course a way appropriate for their students.
So you're saying that we can combine what Chaklam has provided and then also what Tiago has provided, yeah? It's depend on each university.
Hi everyone. I just want to interrupt and say something. I don't intend to really. I think what Tiago has done is already perfect. Yes, please treat my resource simply complementary, and the way I lay out the resources, the lectures, simply in case my course cannot entertain my students enough, then we can go further, right, to more advanced stuff. But there's actually a plan in the lecturer's mind, when is enough, right? So that is just a general plan, and I think what Tiago has done is fantastic, and I don't think we should combine. It is difficult to combine anyway. So I think what Tiago has done is perfect already, but I just want to provide you guys the resource I have in case you want to use some of my classwork and homework. That is just my intention. Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, not combining as a whole set, but maybe we can take some of your. For example, if the lecturer in university thinks that the NLP from Chaklam's resource is good one, then we can have that additional information resources used in our courses, right? I mean, what I meant, combine, not combining the whole set, just pick what that are related.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but maybe I didn't. But that's what I meant. I mean, by combining is that maybe taking some ideas from others materials.
Yeah, I think we can endanger some of these courses if we mix a lot of things in a single course. This can be dangerous for the structure of the course, because we have 5 courses and a lot of electives one. If we start to combine a lot of subjects from other curricular units, that this can be dangerous for the format of the course, and even the possibility of having, for instance, I think at the end, for the whole course, maybe you can attract people from industry trying to enroll on a single or 2 curricular units, and this represents money for you and for the impact of the course in the overall world. You must be careful on this. Sometimes, when I was young, teaching signal processing, it was a crazy mathematical approach. I changed completely for a practical approach, and carry on separating digital signal processing from analog signal processing, and making this change in different curricular units. For instance, if we mix them all, unless the student is already very, we can have problems. Sorry, I'm not also an expert in this field. Tiago is, I am not. Shaklam is also, I see, but this idea of how to teach. We must be careful. Subjects cannot be very extensive, unless otherwise the students will fail or will not work enough. Thank you.
Can I provide comments? Yes, I think that I fully agree. Signal processing is something that probably too overblown, and possibly CNN and INN. But if in my mind, I think what student must know is probably NumPy, Pandas, scikit-learn, matplotlib, Wisdom could be, and then scipy.stats. They must know statistics, so that is a must too. And I still believe they need to know neural network in a high level. Yeah, so you can pick either Keras, PyTorch. I think those 2 are very high level, so they fit the bill. We should not probably teach them the mathematics side about neural network. And I think CNN and INN, frankly speaking, it is possible to actually teach them in a high level way, in such a way that they are not really mathematical, but focus on the concept. Yeah, but I fully agree. Signal processing is completely irrelevant here, and NLP, we can focus a little bit, I think, at least how do we feature, right? Engineers text as features, right? Using NLTK, perhaps a little bit. I think that would be very useful for the students. If we don't teach them here, I don't really know when they will learn this, right? So, and of course, we should not teach them very low level, when instead focus on the concept, the libraries that they can use, and probably that should be good to go. But again, signal processing and NLP, like very deep, forget it. That is probably too much. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to add that that actually in other courses, for example, in machine learning, the students do go into the details of the mathematics of neural networks and then in one later course, RTML. So then we go into the detailed mathematics of RNNs and so on. So we do have scope for that to come along later on. So actually, I don't see any harm in introducing things early on, as long as it doesn't create too much confusion for the students, right? That's rushing them too much too soon. Yeah.
But Matt, do you think that the programming for the essay, this curricular unit should go after machine learning?
I think they're going to be together, right?
In parallel, yes.
If they're taught in parallel, then I think they're reinforcing each other actually.
So I think you must scope the programs and the classes so that the neural networks appears before strong concepts on the subject. Yes.
Yeah, I think that's important that we synchronize.
Yes. Yeah, synchronization is very important here.
If nobody else is going to jump in, I'll raise one more point, which is I noticed from Tiago and Chaklam's presentations that we're talking about possibly Windows, possibly Linux, possibly Mac OS. So I wonder, do we want to try to support all three environments for this course, or as alternatives for the students, or do we want to settle on one environment? I suppose that each university would make that decision themselves, right? Yeah, I think if we can provide materials in all three environments, that might be good for the students that would like to choose.
Can I say something? Yes. So I think I tried 3 of them. Never fan of Windows, but you can do Python in Windows using Anaconda. Yeah. So that's it. But I don't think it's your first choice. I mean, at least they are not good for development because a lot of restrictions, a lot of very difficult to. I don't think it's difficult to install. You can still use pip, but Windows is a little bit tough. Mac OS and Linux should be fine in terms of Linux. Ubuntu should be the easiest one. I mean, at least easy for users, students to dual boot the system. So that is just my comment.
Yeah, I think you are right. But it also depends on the background, on the student's background. Because if they come from different backgrounds, maybe some of them that they might never use Linux, maybe, I don't know. So maybe they come from a different background. They want to learn about programming for data science, but they never used other operating system rather than Windows. So it can be difficult to fix, to choose one, to set one operating system, and I don't know. Maybe it depends on the teacher or whatever. The labs.
I think we lose a lot of students if we are strict with the operating systems. We should try to overcome this with extra work eventually, and different homeworks and things like that. Because I would prefer Linux, but as Tiago, I imagine, but as you, but the attractiveness of the course must be huge.
I just want to introduce some resources. In case that you plan to probably introduce Python to them, I think our wonderful TA, which is sitting back here, Joe, has prepared installation guide for all three of the systems. Yeah. So for Ubuntu, Windows, Mac OS, I'm not sure why we call Ubuntu, but probably we should call it Linux. But anyway, that's it. And we focus on virtual environment.
It's not important to name Linux or Ubuntu, no problem.
Yes. So anyway, it's free to use. You don't have to code us. Just you can use it. Yeah, it's free.
Yeah, I know.
Let me unshare my screen.
And what about the materials and the examples? Do you think we should upload everything so that students can see the examples, or those should be only for the lecturer? So students, they cannot see, but the person that is responsible to teach or to deliver this course, they will have access to the examples.
At this phase, I think it should be for instructors. What do you think, Matt?
Actually, we also don't know what is the best practice, whether we should upload slowly, but at least from my perspective, all the homework and classwork should be provided solutions. Yeah, that allows students to study them in their own pace. So solutions are very important and amazing in that aspect. Of course, some students may want to just copy the solutions, but I think having a solutions outweigh that drawbacks. But anyway, that is just my idea, and that's why all our homework and classwork have solutions. Yeah, and right.
But Shaklam, universities are not all the same, and at this point, I strongly believe that we must, with difference of AIT, because you'll start the program nearby in August, I believe, or even this month, and but now we should have feedback from the instructors prior to have the slides sent to the students, because people that will carry on with the classes should have the material, to be comfortable with material before they present it, because it will not be us to present, but people from each university. You understand? Matt, what do you say?
Yeah, Joao, we weren't quite clear. What's your proposal on this? Your idea?
For now, all the PowerPoint, this one increase, should be delivered, and we get feedback from the lecturers, not from students directly, because we need that the 6 Asian universities feel comfortable. Eventually to adapt for each other, I don't know, for the instructors, so they can deliver and include other PowerPoints and do other things as Shaklam is doing.
So you mean to say that we should give everything to the instructors and then let them decide how to present it to the students? I would agree.
Not to the students, but to the instructors.
Yeah, the instructors then, of course, will decide what to give or not give, right?
And give us feedback so we can eventually correct something.
Yep. Okay, good. Yep.
Actually, if you let me to jump into this conversation, I can say that I totally agree with Zhao, because if we go back to the proposal, we will see that it's what I tried to describe in my emails, but I think that I didn't write it very well. We now are in the point that we developed all this material, and actually the instructors are the people who are going to say the final yes, if this material is okay, or if we need changes, or if we need to add or remove some things from there. So I think that maybe this is exactly the next step. This week we describe what we have developed, but there is an interim step in which the instructors should come back to us and say, we have to develop these slides, we have to change the slides, or maybe because every university is different and every university has its own concept and its own point of view, maybe they want to design some more slides based on what they have in their mind. So I think that I totally agree with Zhao.
Katerina, sorry, and Joao, I want to understand also, yes, we are going to get back feedback, and that's very good. But then who is going to change the slide? And I think it's an extra step in the process that I don't know if it's really necessary, in the sense having the feedback and discussing it, completely agree. But then changing the slides, then it can be done directly by the teachers or the people from each university.
Yes,
Surely.
It's not, otherwise we introduce an extra step which is unnecessary.
No. Eventually, a slide can have one error, and sorry, this is a mistake.
Yeah, sure.
But it's an upgrade of our slides to the instructors. Okay?
Actually, it's not an extra step, it's a parallel step. It's two steps that actually should take place together. We have the European partners who give their input, and this input should be personalized based on the needs of the Asian partners. It's a parallel, it's not an extra step in the procedure.
Yeah, sure. But it's this the responsible which I'm looking for. Who is responsible for the personalization?
Are the Asian universities.
Yes, each university
one
can customize in a different way.
Should adapt to the reality, to the staff they have, to the industry they have, to the students they have. Because if all of them choose one branch with elective courses, it's different from another that students choose another elective course branch.
Okay, because I think this is very important, because we have to to be clear that is what we now are proposing during this workshop is just a kind of a slides with guideline, assignment, exams, anything. But these are kind of guideline that every teacher, every university is going to rework in its own way as they prefer. And then we can discuss again in the next meeting. And the next meeting can be a physical one, or can be again another like this we are doing now. But then we can discuss again and see.
Actually, if you see the Excel file that Born sent us, there is a very nice table in which we have the European partner who is responsible for its course, and the Asian partner who is responsible from the Asian universities.
Yeah.
So actually now we are in the step that we present our input, and the Asian universities should take this input and transform, if they need, this input based on their needs.
Yeah.
Actually, this is what is written in the proposal, and I think that this is the right one, because in the Asian universities, there is a specific culture, there is a specific point of view on how they want to teach their courses. And now we are coming in order to have a combination between of these cultures.
Okay.
Perfect. So I think we are on the same line. Everyone is in the same line.
Yes, perfect. We are in the same line. And don't forget that this is the trip that should have been in April. Then we have two others. One was in July to Indonesia to upgrade what we did in April. And another one in September to finalize the preparation of administrative staff, instructors, and lectures. That's what, but the feedback is still important for us from the instructors.
Exactly.
Not to prepare the classes, but to prepare, to finalize the scope of the program of each curricular unit.
Exactly.
Okay.
So this is just one of the meeting, the first one, and there will be two more, which is hopefully physical meetings. We will meet real in reality. Otherwise, yeah, we have to live with that. And yeah, but okay, we don't need to discuss then this now. But I think that's perfect. And I think, Matt,
Okay.
do you have any? Do you think this is fit with your idea too?
Yeah, definitely, it works for me. I think what I would love to see, if it works, is that we put these things together and that we have a pool of resources that is in common and is maintained and is evolving over time and is being contributed to by all the partners, right? I think that's the hope. I don't exactly know how to make it happen, but yeah, if we can. If we can start with Tiago's and Chuck Lam's resources, put them together, and have some kind of system of maybe pull requests, kind of like GitHub, right? To make it a very collaborative thing where everybody is contributing and benefiting. This is the ultimate goal. But yeah, I guess during this session we need to kind of make an action plan for what are the items that need to be done, and what's the plan for this course moving forward.
Matt, can I have a question, Matt? Do we need to translate also the slide to local language, like Indonesian language, after we have the complete slide of the course? Do you think that necessary?
What we decided in Leiden was that it's not necessary, but there is money in the budget for translation into the local language. So it's really up to you whether to use that or not.
All right.
I just want to add something. I think I forgot to mention this part. From lecture 1 until 14, excluding signal processing and NLP. And if we cut midterm and final, we have around 13 weeks. And each week we have around 6 hours. Yeah, so that is basically the schedule we have. And that is how I actually schedule all these lectures. Each of the module takes 6 hours of lab. So there will be no PowerPoint slides. Everything is done on lab with Jupyter Notebook. So that is just additional information. Yeah.
We use the PowerPoint to you to prepare the classes.
I think Matt is doing the lectures with, I think, LaTeX. So I think he will share with you guys on the machine learning part. But mainly I use the Jupyter Notebook.
It's okay, it's okay. 13, you said 13 weeks, 6 hours per week.
Yeah, 13 weeks, 6 hours per week. Yeah, so it will be 2 labs, 3 hours per labs.
Okay.
So I think the students will enjoy that.
Time. It's enough time.
Is enough? Okay.
I think so.
Yeah.
Maybe could I add, can we hear from some of the instructors that are going to teach this course at other institutes? Opim, we can't hear you. Okay. Did you want to say anything, Opim? Oh, we still can't hear. Okay.
No.
Anyone else from USU? No. And how about, I think, Taufik, you've given your input already, right? And ITB is not here. It's unfortunate. Shall we move to,
I'm Rila from ITB.
Okay, welcome. Great. Good to see you. Didn't see you there.
Yeah. Okay. At the moment, I have no feedback. Yeah. Thank you.
Amalka, do you want to say anything about this course or your colleagues?
For UOP, Prabhat is the one who is teaching this course. He already made some comments. Prabhat, you want to say something more?
Yes, as I expected, because we have separate, as we discussed already, we have separate machine learning, AI, separate modules. So I think this module programming part, we should bring all the students to a particular platform, particular level. I think that should be the intention of this course. Therefore, I think rather going separate packages and so on, we should teach them how to develop their own modules. And yes, that kind of philosophy, that's why what in my mind, that the basics should be there, rather introducing all the packages. Yeah, those could be mandatory. However, the literacy and the philosophy should be, I think, should be developed under this course. That's all.
Another thing that we can add is to cover the statistics background, we actually have a preliminary course. We actually have two preliminary courses, one on mathematics and the other one on statistical methods. So we start actually with those preliminary courses and then we go for this one, which will make sure that all have the necessary background on statistics and mathematics. So we actually have two additional courses in our curriculum that we don't have in the DSLAI, which is actually kind of a requirement. We do that for all our master's programs.
By the way, we're going to start the Mathematical Foundations course in a couple of weeks. Yeah, I think it'd be, Okay, trying again.
Yeah, mine is.
Sorry. Yeah, so our Mathematical Foundations course is going to start in a couple weeks. So we'd like to share resources there also. So we have a really great instructor lined up for the calculus, linear algebra, probability and statistics, discrete math, and so on. So I hope that we can share on this one also. And sorry, I forgot to move on to how about USJP? So Chitrika is here. I don't know if your colleagues are here.
Yeah, Matt, I think
I'm not the one who teaches this course, that he's having some technical problem. I will convey this one. I think as we also decided to include some statistics and mathematics components to this part as well. But overall, I agree with the content. And I think the one who teaches is not here. That's why I can't give you much more comment on this. I will convey this and I will come back.
Then shall we move to Thailand and maybe Walai Luck?
Hello, can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah.
Hello. Okay, we have prepared for two lecturers who are now attending the course, Dr. Vanida and Dr. Kirtisa. Maybe he or she have some question, or do you have, I have some question about, do you have some experience about the student who has not strong level in statistics when you teach this kind of subject? Do they have some problem, or show how level of the background in statistics they need? Maybe some, maybe Matt or someone who used to teach. Could you tell us about this? What the problem? Shall we? What shall we do if we? Okay, thank you.
Can I speak? Yes. I should mute my mic. Hello, can everyone hear me? Okay. Okay. I'm muting my phone, my microphone, so I can use that speaker. But anyway, this sounds so weird. But anyway, can you guys hear me well? Okay, yeah. So I think I and Matt have some experience. I mean, not much, but at least 2 years, 3 years of experience. And definitely, I think the key mathematics that students usually have troubles is linear algebra. And in terms of linear algebra, the most important stuff, the most basic stuff I think they must know is matrices, eigenvalues, eigenvectors. I think that is probably very basic, but it is very good for us to guide them to some resources for them to recap. And if you can do so, it's similar to what Matt said, you can always arrange a boot camp to review this stuff. I don't think it takes a whole course to review this, if they have a good background, by the way, but that is just my assumption, just our assumption. So linear algebra. Statistics, in terms of statistics, I think distributions, histograms, all those visualizations would be proved to be very useful. Okay, I don't think they need to know ANOVA, but of course ANOVA teaches they are all the basics of regression, right? But if it's the most basic level, they must know distributions and what does distributions mean in data science, right? Of course, these distributions will come with standard deviation, average, mean, median, what is the best way to replace values that is now, etc., right? So I think, but I don't feel statistics is a as much big problem as in linear algebra, because linear algebra is easy, but in fact, when it's very multi-dimensional, linear algebra start to get complicated, and students cannot really imagine why linear algebra is basically a column of features, right? So I think linear algebra is important. And so linear algebra, statistics, and third is calculus. And I think in terms of calculus, if we want to have really quick review, I think we would focus on derivatives. Basically, the change based on the limit and what is that change in rate, right? Derivatives, because that will be related to the gradient descent. And
Integration would be also very helpful. So I think, but anyway, if there's only very limited time, I think focus on derivative. So that three linear algebra matrices, statistics, distributions, and calculus on derivatives, that should be a very, very quick crash course that you can provide to let them quickly get a hands-on. And when we teach, we should usually do not assume that students know stuff. So we always have to review and always need to ask them questions like, do you remember this? Do you know why I'm talking about this? Do you even understand what I'm talking about? So I think that actually helps. You should go very slowly. Yeah. That is just my understanding based on my 2 years of teaching, which is quite minimal. Yeah. That's it.
Thank you. May I ask you another question? Have you here? Can you hear me? Sorry. Can you hear me? Sorry. Hello.
Yes, yes.
Okay. If the student come from the bachelor, maybe they used to another software like a MATLAB or Mathematica or R. Do they have to change to Python, or they can follow? I mean, in this course, what do you think? Or they have to learn the new thing, or they can use MATLAB, Mathematica, or R to do with this course? I mean, what do you think? I mean, if they
try or
well, I think. Oh, actually,
you can hear me already, right? Yes. Yeah. Okay. I suppose that data scientists today are sort of split between Python and R, right? If you look at professional organizations, you'll find both being used. But I suppose that a shop will usually go in one direction or another, right? And I think we have to decide to go in one direction or another for our program also. I mean, of course, we can talk about TensorFlow versus PyTorch, right? That's a small discussion, I think. But if you're gonna switch to something completely different like R, then of course you could build a whole program based on that technology. But yeah, I think that would change a lot. And I think it would be probably, you know, I mean, for your program, you need to make sure that you're giving the students a consistent view of you know, a platform that they can use for the rest of their lives. And of course, if later they have to switch from, let's say, Python to R later, then it should not be too difficult, right? If they have a solid foundation. I think that's our view. Yeah, we had some discussion about this. So sorry, Sunay, you were not there at Athens, right? But we did discuss this when we designed this course, whether to go with R or Python or some mix. And so the consensus was generally to settle on Python tools, right? That seems to be the most applicable in industry. Not the only way to go, but yeah. I think we would strongly recommend to stick with Python.
Yeah, I think Matt sums up that well, but I just want to say about R. If you think about development phase, if you want to make stuff, applications, it is much easier to transition to deploy your models into application ready using Python. R is not meant to make applications, so you can do that. It's still fine, right? But R is not meant for that. R is just meant for modeling, but not also for application. But Python has two sides of the coin, so you can do modeling and applications. That is just my addition.
Thank you so much for your answer.
More comments from colleagues at Walilac? If not, should we move to Concan? Any more comments?
Well, we have Dr. Panyapon here. He's the one who's gonna teach this course, so maybe he can give some comment about this.
Hello. Hello, Dr. Panyapon. Okay. Before Professor Panyapon start, may I have some comment? I agree with Chakram that mathematics, statistics, and are the very important fundamentals. But when I saw the detail of the course, I found that this subject has 4 parts: mathematics, statistics, programming, and machine learning tools. There are 4 parts like this. But most of them are focusing on machine learning tools, how to use the machine learning tools. I think a half of semester focus on this part. And there are very, I think, just one time that we focus on the mathematics and statistics. I think it's not sufficient. We should add this part, and we should reduce some some of the machine learning machine learning tool users. Okay, thank you. Dr. Panyapon, go ahead.
Yes. Hello.
Okay.
I think programming language Python is a good tool. Some basically about mathematics should be introduced. For example, vector, basic knowledge about vector, about metric decompositions, etc. on. And basic of statistics is needed to learn. But I agree to use many tools to make a student have more experience how to use tools. Thank you.
Can I speak? Yes. Okay. Actually I have made a Jupyter notebook about statistics and linear algebra before, but I haven't included in this GitHub. But if anyone is interested, I can also upload this. But I personally won't teach this one because I think Matt is organizing a boot camp, and we assume our students know stats and algebra, but I know that is a dangerous thing. But anyway, I have those notebooks. So if if you think that those are important, I can always upload this statistics and linear algebra as a quick way for students to take a look. Perhaps you can use it 3 hours lecture on that. Yeah, so I completely agree that we should focus more on fundamentals on math.
Matt, can I say something? My voice is back now. So I want to tell about the USU condition, okay, about this lecture. Okay. I think we agree that this lecture is a course lab, okay, a lab course. Okay, so it's fully on the lab. Okay. But I think in our case, this programming capability is to prepare the students, okay, to have more advanced courses in machine learning, in AI, etc. So I think we need to introduce them, okay, with the basic concepts. Okay. First of all, the basic concept of Python, okay, and then we move to the tools, okay, introducing them to NumPy, Pandas, etc. Okay, with a small example, okay, for the library to choose, okay, when they faced with the machine learning problem, with the what do you say, the deep learning, etc. Okay, later. Okay, so we only will need to introduce them with those tools, okay, and libraries. Okay. Secondly, as the mathematics and statistics foundations, okay, for us maybe we will let the mathematical and statistical foundations from the student, okay, that what they have learned from the undergraduate studies. Okay, so maybe we in the entrance, okay, we will give the requirement that they should have some basics mathematics and statistics in order to continue their study in the master's degree in BSNAI. So we don't need to have a full course, okay, to introduce them to the mathematics and statistics. Okay. We can, in the many courses, okay, force them to learn more mathematics and statistics. Okay. So can we they can catch, okay, with the mathematical and statistical concepts on the lectures. So I think there's some points that we need to give notifications to the students in order to have to continue their study in the DSNAI master's program. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so I think we've heard from everybody, all the universities individually, as well as the common comments. So can we maybe settle on an action plan? What's next for this course? Taufik, do you want to lead that discussion? Oh, sorry. Okay, go ahead.
I think we need to complete the material that prepared by Thiago. Okay, so we have some general agreements on the course, on the material. Okay, and I think what Saklam shared to us is also very good stuff. Okay, so we can look at that, okay, to see some examples on the materials that we need, okay, to complete the Thiago materials. Thank you.
I just want to ask something. So at AIT, you plan to start this course very soon, right? In August.
Yep, August 4th we start.
Okay, so Shaklam will deliver this course, right? I think, right? So you will follow with. I mean, you already have your own material, so you can start without any problem. But what about the other universities? When do you plan to deliver this course? So I can know how much time I have to finish the preparation of these materials.
I think it depends on the accreditation. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so okay. So we still have some time to finish this, right? So yeah. Okay.
But can I propose one thing? Topic.
Yeah, sure. Marcelo, please go ahead.
No, since it seems that everyone has this prerequisite of having statistics and linear algebra, we can, my proposal is to change then the description of the course where there is prerequisite known, and then we put there basic of linear algebra and statistics so that the students know already that what is expected from them. Just a small change.
Yeah, I think yes, changing the course description will help, and also perhaps if we assume the students know at least something, probably in math can prepare like a 0 linear algebra and 101 statistics, so they can look over by themselves, and that will probably help them. But again, I think it is really our different from different university. Like some university may expect that, hey, our students have 0 knowledge in linear algebra. Then I think our course outline probably would be not so effective. But anyway, I think I and Matt gonna put linear algebra and stats tutorials as something they can self-study.
Okay.
I think that Kamran is right? That okay, maybe we don't have enough emphasis on these things. But yeah, we should, like Marcelo says, we should separate the prerequisites from what the students are going to get from this course, right? So I think the focus is on programming aspects of doing the mathematics and statistics, right? How do you deal with matrices and decompositions and probability distributions and random variables and so on in Python, right? So that I think that could be our guiding principle, right?
Okay, I agree.
Okay.
But the material for the statistics and linear algebra are important. It must be exist for self-study. Everyone can prepare themselves for basic background of mathematics and statistics before study. I think it's important. Thank you.
And I have one more suggestion. So I see that Tiago's done some really nice work on the presentations, and Chaklam has done some really wonderful Python Jupyter notebooks, right? That actually they're quite complementary. So can we combine them into one common pool, right? I think they will get along together.
Text or people. I think Tiago has amazing resources on statistics. So I think that should be probably merged with mine, which is lacking on that perspective. And I think other university can then mix and match anything they want from our resources. I think that would be probably a nice thing. And then hopefully we can continue to update these materials forever. I'm not sure forever, but give some time. Yeah.
So Matt, what is the time frame to have the course material ready? Like we have the different time of starting the program, but like AIT will start soon. Our university is still processing the accreditation and the proposal for the master degree, and some others also has a different time of starting the program. So what is the time frame?
Yeah, so I think Chaklam has a very hard deadline, which is he'll be the first delivering these sessions, right? So this has to be ready by that time. But yeah, he's got a lot of material already, I think. So I guess I would suggest that we can continue to merge and improve and upgrade on an ongoing basis. I don't know. I don't know that we need to say everything will be done by September or whatever, right? But hopefully what we're going to do is for each of these courses, we're going to be contributing and augmenting each other, right? So now maybe next OPM teaches this course starting in November, I don't know, right? And so then he should be contributing back his own updates and new material that he came up with that's necessary for their students, right? Then we kind of put them into a common framework. I hope we can manage that.
Okay.
Sorry. Roughly, I took 1 week per lecture. I'm not sure I'm slow or what, but it takes a lot of time to do the homework and solutions. But roughly 1 week per lecture, so I still have around 6 lectures of 16 that I have to complete. So that would be 6 weeks. So hopefully, we combine everything, I should be able to finish. I don't want to commit, but around end of September. Yeah, around. Yes, but that is just my schedule. Yeah, but it can be later. Around.
I have the problem of looking at Shaklan. I thought he was by the lake in AIT, but I see it's not. It's tricky. You are in the room.
Yes, I'm in the room now with everyone, but I think I can turn off the virtual background so everyone can see that I'm actually with them. So
yeah, but it's okay. It looks like you're outside, you know, with the tree.
Yes. Yeah, I think everyone is right here.
No, we are with regret of not being at IIT by the lake.
We wish you were here too.
So,
Rafi, do you want to close the session or anything else?
any other additional from Tiago before we finish up? Tiago?
Hello. Well, I think it's all said. Anyway, yeah, we'll keep working on this. We'll have to finish this very soon. So I think September or even before. It's because now we have the holidays in August. But I think until then, we can do it. Also, I'd like to thank Shaklam for the good inputs. I didn't know that you were responsible for delivering this course in AIT. Otherwise, I could have been talking to you before, so we could have shared some ideas. But I think thanks to your inputs, I have now more clear idea about what's next, about what we have to do. And I also have to talk to the responsible guy that that is going to deliver this course here. But anyway, thanks for the ideas. Thanks for everything. I think it became more clear to me what to do next. So I think I don't have much to add right now.
All right. Yeah. Go ahead.
I promise to remove signal processing, and I promise to remove probably NLP. Yeah. So that should make it more accessible, and I will promise to add linear algebra and statistics tutorials, 0 for them to self-study. Then you guys can take a look. Thank you very much, Diego and Taufik and everyone.
Thank you, Jakam. Oh, so then we will have a full set of material for programming data science from Jakam, and then we have additional material also from Tiago, and then we can pick the best one that's suitable to our university. So Matt, so can I close this session? Any additional comment from you? Oh, all right. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming and attending this first